Guys, what's up? It's Steve. Figured I'd make this video here, take you through the startup procedure in the A-10C Thunderbolt 2, also known as the Warthog. I'm just going to run through the startup procedure, and I have a new suite of CMS profiles that I want to test, so you'll be able to see that too. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here to this panel. We're going to turn on our APU generator. So now that that's all set, let's check our right wing. Aileron moves free and clear. Rudder seems to move free and clear. We go over to our left wing. Aileron moves free and clear. And our left rudder moves free and clear. And if we crane our necks, we can just barely see the elevator moving there. Alright, so we are good to go. So then I would call the tower, but screw it. I'm going to turn on our nose steering, and we are going to start taxiing out. See, look at that. He clears me anyway. What a nice guy. Breaking all the rules, but clear to taxi. Alright, now on our way to the runway, we are going to put our flaps into the maneuver position. We are also going to make sure that the trim is centered by clicking that button there. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to turn on our anti-collision lights. That beeping is the RWR. It detects radar signals from other aircraft, ground threats, and basically displays them in a way for you to be able to see based upon proximity and perceived threat level. Alright, so here we go. All lined up. We're going to set the brakes. Throttle up to 80%. Both engines look good. Push it all the way up. Stabilize. And off we go. At 70 knots indicated, we're going to turn off the nose wheel steering right there. And then we are just going to keep going until we reach our rotate speed, which is about 137 knots or so. There we go. So then we start pulling back on the stick, and she'll come up when she's ready. There we go. And gear up. Flaps up. All right. And we are airborne. So now we can get to the business of testing these CMS profiles. So we're going to put our CMS into manual mode. And the CMS is controlled by this hat switch right here on the stick. So this first profile is for defeating old radar. It's supposed to deploy 2 chaff at 1 second intervals for 10 seconds. So let's see. Alright, that worked. And then this next profile, which is profile Bravo, 4 chaff at half-second intervals for 10 seconds. Or for 10 cycles, I should say. So 5 seconds. Alright. Next one, infrared SAM, 4 flare, quarter-second interval, 5 cycles. So we're actually going to watch this one from the outside because I think it's going to look pretty cool. Actually, we'll do a flyby view. That did not look like flares to me. That looked like chaff. And that is exactly what it was. Let's move on. Delta. Delta is chaff single. 1 chaff, quarter second, 1 cycle. Yep. Ooh, no. Okay, so that was not chaff single. Alright, this is not looking good. Echo is chaff preempt. 1 chaff, 1 second, 10 cycles. Alright, you know what? I think Echo and Delta are reversed. Alright, so then Foxtrot, chaff dump. 2 chaff, quarter second, 3 cycles. That was definitely flares. Yep, definitely flares. Golf should be flare single. Nope. That looks like flare preempt. So then hotel is supposed to be flare preempt. Let's see what that is. That would be flare single. India is supposed to be flare dump, 2 flare, quarter second, 3 cycles. That looked like it dumped both chaff and flare. That looked like mixed dump. Let's take another look. Yep. That was definitely a combination of both. Alright, and Kilo, or as you were, Juliet is supposed to be mixed single. And that was obviously not single. That was 2x2 mix, 10 cycles. And then we go to Kilo, which should be mixed preempt, but I think what we just saw was mixed preempt. That is mixed single. And then the last one is Lima. Let's see what that one is. Should be mixed dump. Is that dumping too? Nope, single. That is also mixed single. So, that test has concluded, and despite the fact it was less than successful, it was very educational. So I guess one final thing we'll do here is we will go and land. What I'm doing is I am programming in the ILS frequency for Tonopah. Turn that on. We're going to switch to ILS mode. Not yet picked up the ILS signal, possibly because we're behind it. So we're going to come out of there. We are going to move our autopilot to altitude hold, and we are going to slow the heck down. Come over here. And we are going to fly a little ways to prepare ourselves for landing. That's a good heading right here, so we're going to go trim back out, go back on the autopilot, and we are going to emergency jettison everything we have, because can't land with that much weight anyway. Alright, so now that we are significantly lighter, I don't think I have the right ILS frequency plugged in, so we are going to check. 111.7. I did not have the right one plugged in, so we are going to fix that. There we go. There we go. You can hear the ILS frequency beeping in, so that gets really annoying, and we're going to come over there and silence it. Alright, but we have that, so now we're going to start slowing down. And we are going to turn in and begin our landing procedure. Why are you still beeping? Shut up. Alright, there we go. Back off autopilot and finish our turn. Now, ILS is Instrument Landing System, and basically the aircraft is going to be listening to a guidance signal coming from the end of the runway that is going to take us all the way down. It's going to take us all the way down to the touchdown zone. It's the same system that commercial airlines use. Or commercial airliners, I should say. Alright, so there's the runway. And just for schnitz and giggle, we are going to change our waypoint to landing. Keep the speed coming down. Going to deploy our landing gear. And one increment of flap. We're going to arm it. It'll come down when it's ready. And we're also going to put out about 40% speed brake. There's our flaps. Put out the last notch. Full landing flaps. Alright. And we're coming down. And looks like we're a little below glide slope, so we're going to shallow out our descent here.
Altitude, altitude.
Thank you, Gladys. A little more throttle. And try and get ourselves centered a little better. You can hear my cat. She jumped into my lap and is being generally very obnoxious right now. There we go. Flaps, or speed brakes the rest of the way out. And we need to hold our nose as high as we can. There we go. Touch down. And then we're just going to kind of coast a little bit. The brakes on the A-10 aren't always the best. So we tend to let the aircraft slow down at its leisure. The one thing we don't want to do, though, is miss our runway turnoff. Alright. So now we're taxiing in. While we're doing that, we're going to start our APU up, just so it's nice and warm. And we are also not going to make the same mistake and turn on the APU, connect the APU generator. I've had that happen many a time. Oh, let's also pull in our speed brakes while we're at it. There we go. Alright, slow her down a little more. A little more, there we go. Turn off. Cat, you are being generally obnoxious. Slow back over here. There we go. Alright, so our APU is running, the generator is connected. Now we can go ahead and motor the first engine, the left engine. So we're going to move that down into idle cutoff position. Master caution's going to yell at us. And we're going to leave this thing in the motor position for a little bit, and we're going to leave the right engine in just idling, let them both cool down some. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start shutting down some systems. We don't like our CMIS. We're also come down here, and we are going to disconnect the master caution warning because it gets very, very annoying during shutdown. So we're going to cage that. We are going to shut down our boost pumps. We don't need them anymore. We are going to turn off our stability control. Both of them. We are going to turn off our CDU. We are going to turn off both of our MFDs. Turn off our heads-up display. And all of that. Also, we can leave the lights on. That's been motoring long enough. Stop that. And then we're going to shut down the right engine. Alright, we are also going to turn off our nose light, turn off our anti-skid, turn off the nose wheel steering because there's no need for it anymore. And gonna let this engine motor. You're supposed to let the motor for 5 minutes to cool down, but it's a simulator and the damage doesn't carry over. So stop that from motoring. And then we are going to disconnect our APU generator. Turn that off. Shut down our avionics and gyros and engine generators and the battery. And then we open up the canopy. I like watching it go up too. And then we come over here, put our ladder down, and we are completely shut down. That's all there is to it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. I also hope it wasn't too long. Didn't feel very long to me, but it might have been. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and alright, we'll see you guys later.